to try something else, won't we? Seniors? You love us. Smile. You love us.
In a sea of movies that one can watch, there are only a very select few that can be watched anytime. These movies are super quotable and deeply memorable. In these movies, the performances are exceptional, the soundtrack hits just right, and the plot is first rate. We can watch these movies over and over, no matter how we feel. So here is our list, in no particular order, of the top 18 movies to watch anytime. As always, a few spoilers ahead.
Impressive. Very nice.
One ticket to Tokyo, please.
We are starting the list by cheating with this 2-for-1 punch by Quentin Tarantino. This revenge double feature is helmed by Uma Thurman as the bride, aka Black Mamba, in one of her most iconic roles. Each film has so many excellent sequences, from the animation in Volume 1 to the coffin sequence in Volume 2. It's also the soundtrack by RZA and the editing by the master Sally Menke, R.I.P. These are just some of the reasons why we can truly watch these anytime, either on their own or back-to-back in proper binging fashion.
Okay, sir, you're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. That's terrific.
The dude abides, meaning he can be relied on to endure forever, and therefore the Big Lebowski can be watched anytime. That logic tracks, right? The Coen brothers created one of the most memorable characters in movie history with the dude. So much so that there's even a church based on his philosophy.
I don't know about you, but I take comfort in that.
Nearly every single line in this movie is quotable, and it features one of the most memorable cast of characters, from John Turturro's Jesus to Steve Buscemi's Donnie.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
American Psycho, a horror satire, takes down corporate America one business card at a time.
I can't believe that Bryce prefers Van Patten's card to mine.
Helmed by Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, a corporate ladder climber come serial killer.
The whole album has a clear, crisp sound and a new sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives the songs a big boost.
This movie manages to subvert sheer horror into utter hilarity, thanks in great part to Bale's incredible portrayal of Bateman, which is what makes it a movie we can watch anytime.
What are your plans for the future?
Spend as much time possible with Diane before she leaves.
In his directorial debut, Cameron Crowe gifts us this charming yet complicated coming-of-age love story featuring peak John Cusack. It's the Peter Gabriel in your eyes moment for us, or perhaps it's Lily Taylor's lament for a boy named Joe who lies with his eyes.
You invade my soul.
Either way, this lovely movie is filled with so much heart and love that we can watch it anytime. This Wes Anderson existential adventure film is so well crafted, we're not sure there is another film where we have fallen in love with every single character as much as we have in Life Aquatic.
Let me tell you about my boat.
In usual Wes Anderson fashion, the dollhouse effect is at its peak. It also has an incredibly memorable soundtrack from the acoustic musings of Sue Georget to the quirky compositions by Mark Mothersbaugh.
Excuse me, you? What's your name? Could you come over here and move some of this stuff, please?
In his first leading role, Jeffrey Wright masterfully embodies the ever-talented yet deeply tortured Jean-Michel Basquiat.
My name's Jean-Michel Basquiat. Have you heard of me? No, should I have?
This movie gives us David Bowie as Andy Warhol. It also gives us a plethora of memorable scenes where the use of music is integral. And it also depicts the 1970s and 1980s New York, including the burgeoning street art scene, in a very realistic way. Making a truly great biopic is a very rare thing, and this is why we can watch this movie anytime.
Maybe you just shouldn't take things so seriously.
We know each and every John Hughes movie featuring the Brat Pack is a classic and can be watched anytime. But since we have to choose for this list, we're going with the top most iconic of them all, The Breakfast Club.
And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, the most convenient definitions.
This movie is so deeply a part of our pop culture that we feel like we know each and every character so well. It's quite possible, too, that these characters helped shape our identities as we chose to be the jock, the princess, the rebel, the outcast, or the brains. Also heads up, a documentary about the Brat Pack called BRATS is currently streaming on Hulu. It is directed and produced by one of the members of the pack, Andrew McCarthy.
Do you want to know what it is?
Are we living in a computer simulation? Are machines using us as food? These philosophical quandaries and many others are what make The Matrix a movie we can watch anytime.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
This movie not only changed the way cinematography and VFX was done, but also changed the way we saw reality itself. And sure, there are plenty of movies that try to subvert reality. Insert any Nolan movie here. The Matrix managed to append our sense of it so deeply that even to this day, folks are still questioning whether or not we are living in a simulation.
This isn't the Matrix.
What came first, the music or the misery?
Yes, another John Cusack movie made it to our list, and yes, Lily Taylor is in this one too. But what makes this movie one that we can watch over and over is the use of music as a device that moves the rom-com plot along, and the soundtrack does not miss. Beyond that, the dynamic of the affectionately dubbed musical moron twins, Barry and Dick, played by Jack Black and Todd Luiso, is comedic perfection.
What is this?
This is a chemical burn.
A story about toxic masculinity and mass consumption that is incredibly quotable and filled with plenty of inventive directorial choices makes this a movie we can watch anytime.
Oh, thank God. Please don't hit me again.
Peak Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, no matter how many times we watch it, it never disappoints. Maybe it's the satire that oozes through the entire plot, maybe it's its anti-capitalistic message, or perhaps it's Brad Pitt's abs. What do a breakup, Hawaii, a pop star, and Dracula have in common? They're all a part of the plot of one of the best rom-coms ever made, in a movie that we can watch anytime. Every single scene and perhaps every single line is hilarious and essential.
Oh, Wedding in Hawaii, real original.
We love the fact that there are no Mary Sues in this story. Everyone gets made fun of equally, all for the sake of creating more well-rounded characters, resulting in a more well-rounded story.
This guy is a professional. Going after him could be very dangerous.
Surprisingly hilarious, featuring a fantastic cast of characters and having one of the best soundtracks in movie history, produced by RZA, we think that this might be Jim Jarmusch's most successful film.
Ghost dog. Ghost dog? He said ghost dog.
In usual Jarmusch fashion, we get plenty of vignettes, but in this movie, they all work perfectly together to move the plot along. Also, Forest Whitaker's gentleness mixed with violence makes this movie one we can revisit time and time again.
Yes. Bravo.
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
An instant classic made on a tiny budget but imbued with so much energy. It feels like each and every one of these characters can and maybe has been your friend at some point in your life. Written by Jon Favreau, Swingers is insanely quotable, moves flawlessly from scene to scene, and the bromance is deeply honest and exposes vulnerability rarely seen in men.
Who's the big winner here tonight at the casino? Huh?
Mikey, that's who. Mikey's the big winner.
Sure, Dazed and Confused is the stoner movie, but there's plenty more to it.
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Firstly, it gave us Parker Posey and Matthew McConaughey. It depicted teenage rites of passage like first kisses, first parties, first major life decision in a thoroughly authentic way. It also gave us honest dialogue that felt true to each character, but mostly, it made us feel truly seen, which is why we want to keep coming back to it.
Donnie Darko, perhaps with your recent brush with mass destruction, you can give us your opinion.
Launching the careers of the Gyllenhaal siblings, this time travel sci-fi thriller gave us such iconic moments as the rabbit costume, the opening bike scene with churches under the Milky Way, and an existential grappling with the idea of duality. Every scene from this movie is memorable. There are so many quotable moments to mention, and Jake Gyllenhaal's breakout performance are just a few of the reasons why this movie is on our list.
I'm sorry, Miss Farmer, I don't get this.
The Goonies is a pirate adventure mixed with buddy comedy and rom-com. It has a diverse cast of characters that are very well thought out and a killer soundtrack, including Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough. And if you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, Ke Huy Quan's character is a tip of the hat to his breakout role as Data, the adorable gadgeteer whose gadgets mostly work.
I got a great idea, you guys! Slick shoes! Slick shoes? Are you crazy?
It is timeless, and we think every age group can and should watch it. And remember,
Goonies never say die!
The ensemble cast, the very obvious influence of Scorsese's Goodfellas, the compilation soundtrack, including the iconic Awesome Mixtape scene, and the endless, unforgettable scenes like the 3-minute-ish opening shot that introduces us to all the characters in the movie, the time period, and the settings is why this masterpiece is on our list of movies we can watch anytime. We are closing our list with this paragon of cinema. It's the granddaddy of how to make a movie we can watch anytime.
Hey, Mom, what do you think?
You look like a gangster.
Like the ones before it, it has a killer ensemble cast, an unending list of quotable lines, an incredible soundtrack, and highly memorable sequences, most of which have been replicated in some of the other movies in this list alone. It's also a masterclass in how to mix genre as it combines comedy, crime, and biography, and does so excellently.
But in Italian, it sounds much nicer, you know.
We truly hope you enjoyed our list of movies to watch anytime. What are some movies in this genre that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you are inclined to arrange these films in a particular order, we would love to see that. Show us your work below. Happy binging, and we'll see you on the next one.